What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Blessing Show, where, thanks to your support on Patreon, I break down what's up. Today, let's talk about everybody's game of the year for 2020, Marvel's Avengers. Tomorrow should be a cause of great celebration. Marvel's Avengers, my most played game of 2020, I know, sees the release of both its next-gen versions and its second DLC character, Hawkeye. But things aren't right in the land of Crystal Dynamics. Avengers is a game you either gave up on after the campaign or never even started because of its awkward reveal. Today, I'm going to make the case for how Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics can save Earth's mightiest heroes. But to get there, we have to look at how we got here. In 2015, there was an idea. That idea was Marvel Games. Rather than enter into licensing agreements with the likes of Sega and Activision, and rather than buy devs to make games internally, Marvel Games would act as a bridge. This is how you got hits like Spider-Man from Insomniac, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 from Team Ninja, and a slew of mobile games that you've probably never played, but I assure you make a lot of money. But as Marvel Games got rolling and the MCU juggernaut kept putting out hit after hit, the video game industry began asking louder and louder for an Avengers game. In January 2017, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics answered by announcing Marvel's Avengers with a trailer teasing the idea that we'd have to quote-unquote reassemble. For more than 2 years, Avengers lived in the shadows with no real news to speak of outside of the rumor that it was a games-as-a-service cooperative experience. At E3 2019, a presentation broke the silence, followed by behind-closed-doors demos, and the PR beat that followed was not kind. The public complained that the Avengers themselves looked like schlubs in Halloween costumes, and those who went behind closed doors said that the action looked ho-hum. Public sentiment was lukewarm at best. But something funny happened in the run-up to Avengers' September 2020 launch. People actually enjoyed it. A beta dropped with plenty of bugs and issues, but people were actually impressed with the gameplay. Put that with news of a free next-gen update when the console was launched, Spider-Man coming to PlayStation, and the first 2 months of post-launch content planned, and things were actually looking up for Earth's mightiest heroes. But then, everything fell apart. Tomorrow, 4 months after he was originally intended to release, Hawkeye comes to Marvel's Avengers and represents the second piece of DLC for Square Enix's fledgling games-as-a-service experiment. Despite all of its warts, issues, and delays, I love Avengers. The combat is enjoyable, the story is interesting, and it's a blast to play with friends. But it's a far cry from the title we were originally promised. And it's got a helicarrier's worth of problems to iron out if it hopes to ever win back the fan base it squandered. So let's get to it. This is how Marvel Games, Square Enix, and Crystal Dynamics can save Marvel's Avengers. First and foremost, stop being so damn quiet. Each and every Thursday, Crystal Dynamics puts up a blog post about this week's update. It lays out the priority missions for the week, it details the marketplace updates, and it says absolutely nothing about what fans really care about. To its credit, Crystal's done a good job of adding quality of life improvements since launch. There's a ping system now. Captain America can smash through doors that once mystified him, and you can run on the helicarrier. With that stuff out of the way, it's time to use these weekly blog posts to talk to your frustrated audience about what matters. Tell us why it's taking so long to get new heroes. Why are there still only 2 main villains for villain sectors? And where is the cloning lab that's been promised since September? For years on Kinda Funny Content, I've talked about the value of devs oversharing. If you tell us what's happening on your side of the screen, we understand what's happening on ours. Right now, you can look at 343 and Halo Infinite. They are putting up amazing blog posts detailing what they are doing with the game. They're getting a lot of good buzz about it. The audience is happy. This is how you communicate with an audience in 2021. It's time to peel back the curtain and stop acting like Avengers is a AAA game that's going to steal the show at E3. Avengers is a fun game with a small audience and a massive PR problem. People think this game is dead, so you have months, if not years, of uphill work to make people give it a second look. Stop playing your cards close to your chest. Double down on the community you have and build from there. I love this stupid game. All the people posting really angry stuff on the subreddit love this stupid game. So talk to us. We don't even have a roadmap right now. Let that sink in. We are 6 months into the life of an ongoing game from a publisher as big as Square Enix, based on the biggest IP in entertainment right now, and we don't know about what's after Hawkeye. This was supposed to be out in November. Now, if you're Crystal, Marvel, and Square, I kind of understand. You delayed the game once, you didn't deliver Kate on time, you didn't deliver Next Gen on time, and you didn't deliver Clint on time. There's probably an attitude of, let's just shut up until we're sure. But you're overthinking this. Fans like me don't need dates, we need milestones. Right now, I have no reason to turn Avengers on. I already have 3 characters at max level with no content to play, there's no raid, there's no reason to worry about having different builds, and I'm swimming in resources. Why should I invest more time into a game I'm not even sure is going to be around next year? tell us what you're working on. If you say the next 3 heroes are Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel, and the next major pieces of content are going to be the cloning lab, the Wakanda raid, and a new villain sector, you'll show me there's life in you yet, and you'll still get to bask in the headlines when you drop the cinematic trailer for all of that. Right now, Avengers is a punchline to the people who don't care about it, and a what the f to those who do. Don't even get me started on this XP switch up y'all just pulled. There will be no announcement that undoes the 6 months of neglect. You need to start repairing those fractures with the small stuff now. Give me a reason to evangelize this game. It comes down to content. Your first DLC character, Kate Bishop, is really fun to play, and her story missions back in December were fantastic. I got 2 nights of play out of it. 2. I thought about playing more of Kate and grinding her to level 150, but why would I do that? You haven't even proven to me that you're going to make 150 content, period, let alone if you're going to make enjoyable 150 content. Give us a raid. Give us an overall battle pass where any hero's progress counts towards the rewards. Give us text-based quest lines that reuse missions we already have but grant us unique rewards that matter, just like the Division 2 does with its manhunts. All I'm asking is for you to give me a reason to turn on Avengers and call up my friends. If you can't come up with that, I think you need to admit that you're not a games as a service. Right now, you're a co-op game that gets episodic content. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not how you sold yourself. If you want to be that, ditch the weekly updates where you rearrange the furniture and act like you moved. Instead, focus on great big quarterly updates that matter, that'll keep me around for 2 weeks rather than 2 days. That's the most frustrating thing. I truly enjoy Marvel's Avengers, and I'm excited to play Hawkeye's content on the PS5 tomorrow. But is it just going to be another 2 nights of playing, followed by 3 months of meaningless blogs dodging the question of where endgame content is? The core of Marvel's Avengers is great. Throwing Cap's shield is satisfying, warping as Kate Bishop is fun, and beating baddies in the Hulkbuster feels powerful. But big picture, Marvel's Avengers is failing at what it's trying to do. It's not a games as a service, it's a single player campaign stitched together with a multiplayer component that's not being supported or messaged properly. I mean, how did Ghost of Tsushima get a raid before you? If Crystal keeps its dwindling fan base in the dark, just grasping at things on dev streams, being angry on subreddit, it won't matter what cool stuff they're working on. Square Enix will pull the plug long before it ever sees the light of day. There is a ray of hope, however. Tomorrow, Thursday, March 18th, Avengers will be at Square Enix Presents, and it's the perfect time to turn this whole thing around. The 2 things that can save Marvel's Avengers are communication and content creation. You nail that, and this game will be around for a long, long time. But if you wait any longer to get started, it's gonna be the next Anthem.